Hey, what's up, listener? Thank you for pressing play. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we've got a final trailer for the Joker movie, a quick update on the Disney-Sony Spider-Man divorce, and we dig into all the Marvel and Disney news and trailers announced at this year's D23 Expo. All that and a whole bunch more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, August 29th, 2019.
Yo, 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 this is Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino. You are listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. You want the most up-to-date comic movie and TV news? You found it. Fun? You bet. Puppets? With substance abuse issues? Oddly, yes. Only here on the Jock and Nerd podcast. Does it get any better than this? I don't think so. Listen, Rob Liefeld, creator of all the stuff you love, saying to you, listen to the Jock and Nerd podcast. So sexy, so awesome. I never miss it. And it's my favorite thing in forever. It's spectacular. It's awesome. I love it. Jock and Nerd.
Pop it like it's hot.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up.
Jockin', be nerdin'. Be funny, disturbing. Jockin', be nerdin'. Be spoiler alert. Oh yeah. Jockin', be nerdin'. Be funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. Jockin', be nerdin'. Be spoiler alert. You know what's up. Jockin', be nerdin'.
Hello, what's up, listener? Thanks for joining us and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Rugberto.
He's the Rug Boy.
And he's the nerd.
Yes, it's just we're riding just the two of us this week, everybody.
Yeah, we're Tony-less.
We're Tony-less, we're Anthony-less, we're Jockless, we're Sans Jock. No jocks here. Anthony, this week, he is at a rehearsal dinner for a wedding.
So they're going to practice eating?
I don't understand rehearsal dinners. How I've been eating dinner my whole life, and I seem to be doing fine. Now, unless it's like a synchronized eating where you bite.
You remember a Karate Kid 2 when they had tea and it was like a choreographed dance to get tea?
Yeah, maybe there's like a flash mob
like
at dinner and, you know, bite on the floor. Bite on the floor.
Oh,
You're
man.
messing this up. God, that's a hack bit.
This is going great.
I just realized that I went to Karate Kid and I was like, okay, that's not even, that's racially insensitive.
It's not, though.
Because it's Asian adjacent.
They have a ceremony for tea, and Anthony has to practice how to eat dinner. Ladies, it's not his wedding, so.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Sometimes. It's not his wedding, so everyone just calm down. He's
probably in the bridal party. You know,
he's in the party, yeah, and then he's got to go to the wedding line.
We're talking a lot about it.
The point is, he's not here, Ruggs, and oh boy, do we have so much awesome Geek Boner stuff to talk about. Let's get into it right now.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Before we get to the big Disney Expo there, we got to talk about something that just dropped yesterday as we record, and it is the final trailer for the Joker movie. Todd Phillips directing, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Did you get a chance to watch this trailer, Ruggs?
I think I watched it a couple times.
What did you think? Can I just tell you? I'm going to tell you what I think, even though I just asked you what did you think.
Go for it.
Real quick. Before, I was not on the fence of this movie. I was like hanging off the fence, still hanging, holding on the inside. After this trailer, I have jumped off the fence and I'm running straight towards the house.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Wow.
This, the first thing I thought of was like, this is art. This is an art film. Gorgeous shots. I loved a lot of things. What did you think, Rux?
Well, let's see. When I first saw the trailer, the first one, I was like, okay, I'm going to go on faith that Scorsese's kind of like driving this thing, and behind it, and you got a great actor. So I'm like, even if it's not great, Joaquin will be great.
You have Joaquin Phoenix. Absolutely.
So when I saw this trailer, I think I saw this in front of a few people.
Okay.
and they all were like, "This looks like a good movie." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." Well, now it's like that validates what I was thinking all along.
Well, it's like such not a comic book movie, which I love.
It looks like a Scorsese film. It looks like The Comedian, you know.
This is Taxi Driver meets Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
Gorgeous cinematography, and I love his laugh. I think the laugh is eerie. The trailer's creepy. I love in the one shot where he's laughing as he's walking down the hall, and then he just stops, and he's like normal, like he can't help it. Like it was just like a little twitch.
Yeah. There is like a King of Comedy in there. There's definitely a huge kind of callback to that.
I mean, the parallel is De Niro as the talk show host. Yeah. And the moment of humiliation, public humiliation, while it looks like his mom is dying in the background, that's going to take you over the edge. He looks like he's like a rent-a-clown type of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll go
There's
to parties.
Something about like he's a clown by day, but wants to be a comic at night, but no one thinks he's funny and people think he's crazy.
He gets beat up a lot because he probably laughs at the wrong times. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
You're not supposed to laugh.
Maybe he's got a nervous tick where he laughs.
Yes, I love that. I
don't know. This is all...
It's all speculation.
Yeah, this isn't like confirmed that he does this. We just guessing.
We know, though, this is what he watched. He watched people who have this pathological disorder, pathological laughter to inspire this. I love how creepy, like he's painting his tongue. Like, what the hell is that? Why are you painting your tongue? That's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like... We know, okay, so first things first is we know that this isn't going to be the status quo of the Joker unless it like does billions of dollars.
Well, that's the thing. They said it's a one-off, but it makes shitloads of money. They're going to be like,
might be,
Joaquin, you want to make 4 more of these? He's going to be like, no, but do
you think it's going to make a lot of money?
I don't know. It's R-rated, small budget. I think these trailers are really, hooking people in, people who don't, who are maybe burned out on comic book movies are also going to be excited.
Yeah, people who don't like superhero stuff might be into this because it's kind of like a crime psychological thing. You know?
It's this guy's just losing his mind. It's 1981 Gotham. It's another Joker with makeup on, just like Heath Ledger. And I think just like Heath Ledger, he's got a good shot at winning a fucking Oscar for this. Like you play the Joker, you got a shot at winning the Oscar. That's pretty much how it goes.
I don't think Joaquin Phoenix can sit there and look at a shitty script and just do it. I would probably bet that he would do something more experimental and risky rather than something that's like cheesy and bad.
This definitely looks experimental and just gritty. You see, I love how he's already getting punched by a Wayne. That's Thomas Wayne running for mayor, and he punches him in the face. So, the Arthur Fleck. His name is weird. Like, who is Arthur Fleck? I love the whole chaos in a subway with the masks and how he can kind of slip away. And I honestly hope. So you also see Mark Maron in that one shot. You notice that?
Right.
Standing next to De Niro. So he wants him to introduce him as Joker.
Oh, shit. Geek boner.
That's crazy. And then the final shot of where he's on the show and the curtains open. And part of me hopes that the movie ends with him just fucking gassing everyone and they all die.
Oh, shit.
What do you think? Could they do that?
Maybe he kills himself and everybody in there?
I mean, I think if this isn't the Joker, this is the guy who inspires the Joker, because there may even be I think there's a young Bruce Wayne in this.
Right, so you think that this guy maybe kills himself and everybody in that room, and it's caught on TV, it's talked about, and then someone assumes, like, resurrects him and becomes the Joker.
Possibly the Joker is like a moniker, it can be passed down. And I love how he says that he doesn't say the Joker. He's like, can you introduce me as Joker? I just want to see that scene from the Dark Knight Returns comic book where the Joker gasses the whole studio audience and they all have the demented smiles and it was all on TV.
At this point they can do it because, that whole thing is blown. The Dark Knight's been blown. Like, it's been destroyed.
Yeah, you might as well take that part and pull it out, put it in here. Who cares?
It's like, it's at this point. See, this is the thing. It's like, this movie, it doesn't pretend to be in continuity. It's doing a different thing. I think if it succeeds, maybe we'll get more, but I don't think they're intending on it. I think it's a one-off. They probably should kill off the character at the end of this so we can have the finality of it. Right?
I hope
if
they're
do. Smart.
Yeah.
That way we know there was no speculating. Oh, it's going to be with the Batman. If they just kill him at the end. It's
a complete story.
Yeah.
The one thing that confuses me, though, is the kiss with Zazie Beetz. Like, she like digs this creepy dude. This is the one thing he's got.
Maybe she's crazy.
Maybe she's crazy. Maybe that's in his head. Maybe that's not really happening. His therapist breaks up with him. And then there's just one shot in this I love where he's backstage and he's in Joker makeup and he's holding a cigarette and it's all like blue and the camera's slowly pushing it. It looks fucking sick. I am really, really impressed with what I saw here. I can't wait for this movie in October. I think it's going to be really, really good and something different.
That's what I'm saying. My expectations are not that it's going to be comic book Joker. It's going to be something different. And hopefully he dies at the end and it could be an open and closed book. So I could enjoy this movie without worrying if it's going to, maybe it's for the better. Maybe it's the best Joker story ever told and everybody's satisfied with it. But I feel like he should die at the end of this.
You just close it out. It's being shown at festivals. We should hear a lot more soon. Listener, let us know what you think of the new Joker trailer. Join the discussion. Get involved. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. There's a bunch of listeners in there and people who we've turned into listeners because they found the group and they're hanging out. It's closed. It's exclusive just for you guys. Sign up. Get in there. Muck it up. Muck it about. And everyone has been cool. Everyone be cool. All right. Before we get to D23, let's get an update on the big story that was kind of looming over D23, and that is, as you heard us go have our therapy session last episode, the divorce between Disney and Sony over the custody rights of one Spider-Man. Basically, look, it was weird. He was all over the banners. Tom Holland was there. So was Kevin Feige, because he's in a Pixar movie called Onward. There has not been any official release from Disney yet. But I hear more sources saying Disney's the one who stepped away, right? Which it was like Disney made an offer. Sony said no, didn't counter. And Disney's like, all right, we're out. We don't need this. That's kind of the shift. But Kevin Feige and Tom Holland both made comments seeming to say that, yes, Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. Kevin Feige was like, this wasn't a deal that was going to last forever. We had great 5 films. We knew it was always going to end at some point, which is interesting because they kind of left the end of Far From Home in a spot where you can actually transition. And Tom Holland confirming, I am still going to play Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, shit.
Apparently, he was in a pitch meeting for the third movie, and he's like, it's going to be different, but it's going to be great. And he's like, I love you 3000. It's been great being in the MCU, but we're going to continue. Little tug of war over director John Watts between Disney and Sony. And now I'm reading other studios actively courting him.
Yeah, it's a win-win. Like, I guess if you want to keep continuity between both movies, having the same director is probably a clutch thing. I don't really like his direction.
I think anybody could do, no offense to the John Watts.
Yeah.
I think you could put anybody else in there to do the same thing.
Yeah, so I don't really think he's the factor. I just think that they want continuity. They want somebody who knows both films.
Tom Holland is the continuity.
Right.
Now, Ruggs, real quick, you gave a pitch last week and you tweeted a pitch and I really liked it. You got a chance to think about it. Give us that pitch again. This is why the listener should follow @ReallyRugBoy on Twitter, Ruggs. You had a great pitch for what Sony should do after this. How should they proceed? Read this tweet out.
Okay, I'm going to read it kind of, but how Sony should proceed with Spider-Man. So at the end of the movie, he's outed. People know who he is. So he's obviously can't stay in New York. He's got to be on the run. It'd be logical if you want to send him to San Francisco, and that's where Eddie and Venom are. And you make it so Eddie and Venom break up and Pete gets Venom. He wears the black suit for a while, but then ends up, knowing that it makes him uncomfortable and do weird shit. So he rejects it. And then Venom and Eddie reunite. And Venom wants to get back at Peter. So
now they both hate Peter Parker.
Yeah. Well,
the symbiote and Eddie.
Right. So anyway, Pete goes back to New York. And hides out, and Venom goes to find them. He decides, let's get the fuck away from Venom. So they can't find Peter, so they impersonate Spider-Man, which since it was on him, they could be Spider-Man look however they want,
right?
And people think that that's Spider-Man, and they see Peter in the same place, and then that clears his name.
Ooh.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So his name gets cleared, so that's out of the way, and then there's an epic battle. I mean, that's a really simple story. We could probably add more levels to it, add more people. But I want there to be a 5-year jump right after that, after he clears his name, and he's in college, and Aunt May cuts her hair, does something to like it's 5 years later, she's a little bit older. Yeah, she just decides to cut her hair and just kind of look a little bit more like Aunt May and not play up her tits and ass so much.
Yeah.
And then, in college, Pete meets Harry Osborn, who's struggling to keep up in college. And the movie ends with the introduction of Norman Osborn, and you get to finally get him looming in the background. Not necessarily the Goblin. So we get the 5-year jump, and that ends the movie. But if you think that's too simple of a movie, you can also have Kraven the Hunter brought in to hunt Spider-Man, and it's really a Venom and Kraven fight. And Kraven gets his ass kicked really bad because Venom's like super powerful and lethal.
Oh, geez.
And then that could send Kraven like running for the hills. He does never find out that that's not Spider-Man. So that gives him a motivation of like fear of Spider-Man. Because if he really fought the real Spider-Man, they probably would have talked it out or something. So, you have him as now a beaten enemy that you can come back in the next movie. And you don't have to set him up. You could just have him, be there. And where else can we go with this? We can go with the Scorpion.
Yeah, you still have Matt Gargan out there. Yeah,
we still have like sequels. Yeah, we're one movie in. You could have Kraven and Venom. Then you could have Carnage come back in the next movie because they already have Venom ties. You could have Kraven in the thing. And then the last movie can be Green Goblin and the Scorpion or something.
And then I like this note where you can have Jameson apologize to Peter for ruining his name, and then he gives him a job.
Yes, so that now all of a sudden you get at the end of the first movie.
He's in college, and he's an adult. I love this. Sony Pictures, I hope you're listening. Well, because they want to do all this stuff. They want to make a Kraven movie. They want a Venom movie. I feel like if this really... maybe negotiations are still happening. I don't know. But I'm okay with if Tom Holland goes off this way with Sony, because now you can put him in that Venom movie and you can have Venom and Spider-Man and Carnage all in one movie. You can kind of do a little bit of your pitch in the Venom movie. You can go through the storyline through the different characters. There's a lot of things you could do.
Right. I just wanted there to be a way to clear his name, get the Venom thing in there, but still save room for Carnage in another movie and, kind of like bring his cast to a different cast, like, get more of the classical people, the traditional kids in there. I think it would be a good move.
And it gets us back to a movie that's actually about Spider-Man and not Spider-Man as an ensemble side piece.
Right.
As we've been getting, which has been great, but give me a proper Spider-Man centric movie.
You don't have to spend time building up Venom because he's already built up.
Yes.
Right. So that you don't have to do that much there. So you have room for another villain.
I like it.
And you have room for everybody in that movie. It's not like too many things going on at once.
Sony Pictures should hire you right now. Well done. All right, look, let's get to the big D23 Expo. We got Marvel and Star Wars casting news, announcements, concept art, trailers, so much stuff to dig into, Ruggs. Let's start with the news. Black Panther 2 coming out with Ryan Coogler May 6th, 2022. So 4 years after the first movie. I guess.
Yeah, it's a little long.
It's a long ways away. I guess this is still part of Phase 4, or maybe this is Phase 5.
Yeah, they should have come in swinging with that.
With Blade, there's still no name. I'm sure it'll get an actual name. It's just called Black Panther 2. And maybe, hopefully, they'll introduce the Submariner Namor. Would be amazing.
Yeah, they might need time to develop all that shit. It's a whole other universe they got to do.
Yeah, that's the farthest. So they start with that. They start with that news, and I'm like, oh, shit. Then Marvel confirms they've announced, in Phase 4, they announced 5 movies and 5 Disney Plus live action TV shows. They're adding 3 more Disney Plus TV shows. Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk.
Geek boner. Oh, shit.
Holy shit. This almost made me cry because I was like, oh my God. Because you know what this means, Ruggs? You can introduce these characters here and now because it's all under the same house. They can show up in the movies. This is very exciting. What did you think of these 3? I kind of want to dig into all 3 of these characters if people are not familiar with them.
I think all 3 are good choices. I'm down for all 3 of these.
Yeah, this was a crazy announcement. All right, Miss Marvel possibly my most anticipated out of these three for very personal reasons.
Of course.
You know, this is Kamala Khan. She is the fourth person to be Miss Marvel. Her first appearance was in Captain Marvel 17, 2013. So she just introduced a few years ago. But she is a Pakistani American girl raised Muslim from Jersey City. Represent Jersey. And it's pretty much the joke that I always say is, wait, I'm Miss Marvel. That was me. It's more like my sister. If like my sister grew up and she had super heroic powers, she would be Miss Marvel. Holy crap. What a great, written and created by the great G. Willow Wilson, who is a American white woman Muslim convert. And she nails the Pakistani American household. It was like reading about my life. The series will be helmed by Bisha K. Ali. And actually, Ruggs, Willow Wilson actually had a valid concern. She's like, the only thing about this is Miss Marvel's powers are really comic booky. Remember how we talk about stretchy powers?
Yeah, I don't think they work for the screen. I think they look lame on screen.
Her powers, she's kind of inhuman. She was activated by the Terrigen Mist, but her powers are that she gets bigger and smaller. Sometimes just her fist gets big. She can stretch. Yeah, they're going to have to do something. They're goofy comic booky powers.
Like, how do you use that in a cool way or alter it or tweak it to make it cool?
I don't know. It works on the page. You could, I mean, aside from like, you don't want to make her a Jessica Jones where she's just strong.
She's never going to use her powers, basically.
You know, but how do you, I don't know, on you know, if her fist just gets big.
We've seen, the problem is what we've seen the Incredibles.
Yeah.
Where they do this shit all the time.
Yeah.
And it's cartoony, and it's going to remind people of that.
It's going to depend on the tone of the show. Is it going to be like an after school, high school?
It's going to be comedy. It's going to be a comedy. It's going to be and do you want your first representation of a female Pakistani superhero to be like taken as a joke?
I don't think it's a joke, but it should be comedy because she's a lot like Peter Parker. The book is very humorous. The book is very charming. She is funny. So it fits the tone. It's like if you do Saved by the Bell with a superhero, like it's kind of like that. Like it's fun ensemble cast.
All right, as long as you're the big fan. I mean, I like the character. Whenever I see her, she seems to be, jubilant and excited to be a superhero and everything. And I like that enthusiasm.
That's the thing about her. She just loves being there. She's like, holy shit, like that's Miss Marvel. That's Captain America. Look at all this shit. This is crazy. You know, of course, inspired by Captain Marvel.
Yeah. That's like a Peter thing.
Yeah.
Now maybe give that to Peter.
Yeah.
But like, So
here again, even though they just lost Peter Parker, here you have the perfect replacement for Peter Parker. I hope it
does well.
You know, you could put her right in that same tone these Spider-Man movies are, and you wouldn't be pissing that many people off. Casting wise, Roggs, I have found Miss Marvel. Disney,
all right,
just stop. You need to hire this actress. Her name is Sophia Taylor Ali. She is 23. She is a Pakistani American actress and writer. She's been on Grey's Anatomy, done a bunch of TV.
Oh, yeah.
She's super cute.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
That's her, dude. She can play a teenage New Jersey chick, Pakistani American New Jersey chick, no problem.
Yeah, they have to actually make her look uglier.
They might. Hot. She's very pretty. Stop right there. Yeah. I've done all the work for you.
That would be definitely a breakout star right there.
Because if have
you seen her acting? That's
well, I don't know. And there's not a lot of Pakistani American actresses out there.
No, there are straight Pakistani, no.
Pakistani American. There's a lot of Pakistani actresses. Oh yeah. Pakistani American. No. And if they have to go not Pakistani American because the talent dictates this person is better, that's fine. But at least start here. Sophia Ali, I've done all the work for you. Send me my checks in the mail, Disney. Send me the check. All right.
I would go for that.
Right?
That really, that adds a lot of allure to it.
I was like, who could play her?
Yeah.
There's also that girl from, Mr. Robot, and she's on Glow, the Indian girl.
Yeah.
She's not bad. She could do the job. And there's another one. No.
She'd be more of a comedic person.
Yeah. She's definitely has comedy chops, but
she wouldn't be as more of like the heartthrob person.
Right. Sophia Ali, hella cute. She could do the job.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, Ruggs. What do you know about Moon Knight?
Well, he's kind of complicated. He's this dude who has multiple personalities. He he embodies the fist of Honshu.
Is that the Egyptian god?
Yes. The god of the moon.
Yes. Mark Spector, often described as Batman with personality disorder.
Yeah, so he's
Marvel's
got 5
Batman.
personalities.
Yeah, he creates different ones. And there's a couple of great runs. First of all, Miss Marvel, if you want to know more about her, just go find Miss Marvel #1 from like 2013, 2014. Start there.
That sounds like a pretty easy.
It started #1.
Miss Marvel #1.
No,
Yeah,
but it's
okay,
easy
sure.
to find because it's not that old. It's in trade. It's very consistent. Read that. Moon Knight.
I just thought that was very okay.
Just start there.
Where else do I start?
Moon Knight first
I'll start
appearance.
at #5.
Don't start at #5. You could start at #5, but I would recommend you start at #1.
Yeah, don't do that.
Moon Knight first appearance. Werewolf by Night, number 32, August 1975. He's got some great runs by Bill Sienkiewicz. Did him for a while, really awesome. And then most recently, Jeff Lemire did a version of Moon Knight where he wakes up at a mental institute and he doesn't know what's going on. And the inmates and the people working there seem to have powers, and these Egyptian gods come to him, and he blacks out and becomes Moon Knight.
I think they should do Fight Club. That's what they should do.
Yes, like a Tyler. Oh, I like that. A Tyler Durden version of Moon Knight. That makes sense.
And some of them play together. Some of them don't know who he like. Some of them play well together. Some of them don't know.
And he would be Mark Spector would be like Ed Norton. Like he has no idea he's gone out as Moon Knight and done this shit. He's just watching it on TV later, not knowing it's him.
Yeah, he's just like,
I like
shit.
that. I like that.
That's the way to go. That's the way I would do it.
You think you can pull this off? These are going to be PG-13 shows. You think they can pull this off in a PG-13
Well, I mean,
format?
just because it's Fight Club, like Mr. Robot's Fight Club too.
That's true. There's ways to make it a little, but it is Disney, and I don't know how dark they're going to do. Do you have any casting thoughts on this, Ruggs?
Dude, this one's easy to cast. You could cast anybody, I guess.
I almost would.
He's traditionally Jewish in the comic
Yes,
books.
he is
That's
also.
that's what I've been reading all on Twitter. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Now, there's kind of like a call out from that be represented as well.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I mean, that's pretty likely.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, so they might have a chance.
Oh shit! I wouldn't mind like an unknown, completely unknown. That's good. Throw him in here.
Yeah,
I seen the two names batted around. Andrew Garfield.
Oh, that would be great.
I think he could do a good Moon Knight. He's got
he's a good actor.
Body. He's a good actor. What about JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Because you got to remember, all these people, they also need.
Oh, that would be a get, man. That's a great one for him.
These people need to be movie quality actors because they are
Batman adjacent.
Yeah.
He's
Blake. He's Robin. He's an amazing actor. He's not doing the Sandman. Remember, he was going to try to make a Sandman movie. That's dead. It's going to TV on Netflix.
I mean, look, to be honest with you, if you rolled the dice and told me Andrew Garfield was going to be playing like a multiple personality dude, I wouldn't bat an eyelash. That's something totally in his wheelhouse. He does accents. He does all kinds of shit.
Yeah. There's the two names I had.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
make him into one word.
Joseph Levitt.
Yeah. JGL.
JGL.
I don't think right off the bat that he could do it. So it might be more of a challenge for him. It might be like a Heath Ledger thing where you don't expect them to do the kind of performance that he does. So it's a layup for Garfield.
There's still the casting of Keanu is not anything yet, right? And he was supposed to be cast as
he's not
something.
Going to be Moon Knight.
I don't think he's going to be Moon Knight, but you need
be on TV.
You need movie people. All right, so that one I'm psyched for, and then She-Hulk is gonna be awesome. And the funniest thing about this announcement is reading all the idiots who don't realize the character's legacy going, oh, now they made Hulk a girl too? I'm sick of this feminism.
Oh, shit. These are the new MCU fans,
I was like,
people.
Really? Dude,
these are the people that don't know shit, that are watching these movies, talking about movies on Twitter.
We're gonna make Hulk a girl now. Duh.
People telling me that Tom Holland is the end all be all. It's people who don't know what the fuck they're
First
talking
appearance,
about.
She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk #1, February 1980, actually created by Stan Lee and John Buscema.
Yeah.
In 1980, She-Hulk's real name, Jennifer Walters. She is Bruce Banner's cousin. She's a lawyer.
Blood transfusion, right?
Bruce gave her a blood transfusion when she got hurt by something. There was an accident or the mob was after her. He happened to be the Hulk at the time when he gave her the blood. So she can Hulk out. She gets bigger. She gets green, but she retains her brain, a lot like we saw Hulk in Endgame. And I even think they kind of set that up in Endgame, having Bruce figure out how to combine the two personas.
Right.
He can easily help his cousin Jennifer Walters. Now, do you do this like a CGI like they did Hulk, or do you go old school and a tribute to the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno show and cast 2 people?
I mean, I don't know. They could do that. They might have to do that.
Because in the comics, like, she's in the court doing lawyer stuff as Green, as She-Hulk, not as Jennifer Walters. She gets stuck as She-Hulk.
Cool. They should do it that way. But you need that's the thing. You have to find a large woman like that embodies She-Hulk.
Do you need a bodybuilder for this?
Because the only point that you would do this, okay, this is the thing. When they did Lou Ferrigno, they didn't have CG, right?
Right.
So they had no way to make a guy bigger than just to get a gigantic dude.
Just get a gigantic dude, right? And then make him wear small clothes and then rip it and
we
flex.
can get a gigantic woman too.
Yeah.
But I think that, the thing about
now it's going to be the same. It has to be the same person.
He just had the grunt.
Right.
His acting ability was not to be that good.
He didn't have to act like Bill Bixby.
No, he didn't have to act like a person.
Right.
He just had to be the Hulk.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Walters is a person with her brain and everything and the Hulk body.
And she's very smart.
So you're going to have to be able to transition between the 2 people.
All right, you had a couple of good picks for this character.
They might have to go CG or something.
Who would you put in this role, Ruggs? You had a couple of good picks on Twitter. Who did you pick?
Well, I went number 1. I just Bridget Regan because she's unknown. She looks great in green. There's a scene from the John Wick where she's bathed in green light.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my God.
She was in the John Wick. She was also in Agent Carter.
Yeah.
The 3rd season. She's tall. She's very statuesque.
Yeah. She totally looks like the comic book, face.
Yeah.
The same architecture of the face. She looks like a comic book face.
That's not bad.
Then I, of course, Eva Mendes, because she's kind of like she's kind of got a big frame, but she's like kind of bodacious, but she's got attitude. And she's like, she seems like she's really smart,
That one I didn't think of Eva Mendes. That one came out of right field for me. I was like, okay, I can see it.
Like she's got like a smart alecky thing. I'm not saying she's like a rocket science, but she's
smart and tough. She can play smart and tough.
And then you got Morena Baccarin from Gotham.
Look, and Deadpool, more Morena Baccarin is always a good thing for me.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of her.
She's a staple. She can act.
Yeah.
She knows how to do things.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I think those are good picks. You had
I got a couple of names. How about the Rosario Dawson?
She'd also be good.
Right?
I feel like that she's kind of tiny, but.
Yeah, but.
So was the next
Eliza Dushku, who voiced She-Hulk in many cartoons.
If they mocap her, like she's a tiny girl too.
So they're going to have to mocap this like they did Ruffalo in the movie. Like they make this Hulk. Like that's mocapped.
They're not going to do that.
Why not?
They're going to do that.
Why not?
Make that level good graphics? No way.
Dude, they'll put money into this because these characters are going to show up in the movies. They're going to have to do that. Why wouldn't they just get it out of the way?
This is what I think they'll do. You're going to laugh when I say this. All right? I would rather, this is going to be such a fucking bullshit thing to pull off, but they hire a freaking bodybuilder.
Okay.
And they face swap them.
And they do a deep fake.
Yes.
Well, look, we've seen that. We've seen that done seamlessly many times.
Imagine, like, the woman has to act, and the face has... That's probably easier to do than to actually make a fake person.
Mocap. Wow. So then you're kind of combining the CGI and practical. I kind of like that. It would look real.
I don't know how real it would look. Because it might... If you do it to a high level, I think it could be good. Because, like, some of these deep fakes actually look really cool.
Amazing.
But you always see something off.
Yeah. Is she as big as the Hulk is? She-Hulk, like, standing?
She's got to be at least over 6 feet.
Yeah.
At least. It's got to be something that at least takes her from the average person. She's got to be a little bit larger than life.
Dude, these are amazing.
Wowie zowie!
New characters, new TV shows. I only hope they don't make the mistake with these that the Marvel shows did on Netflix and that they're not all the same fucking tone. Those Netflix shows all kind of became samey. It was the same shit every season, every different show.
There's opportunities to do a comedy with Miss Marvel.
Yep. Moon Knight is
do like a Moon Knight, like a Fight Club, like a Mr. Robot.
And She-Hulk is your Law and Order in the MCU. That's all it is, right there.
Yeah,
it's your lawyer procedural. She just happens to be a She-Hulk. I love it. All right, next.
There you got it.
Next big announcement. Jon motherfucking Snow is joining the MCU.
Oh, shit.
Kit Harington cast as Dane Whitman, the Black Knight. In the Eternals, he's joining Rob Stark, Richard Madden back together on the same project. Which one of these motherfuckers dies first this time? We can't wait to find out. But Ruggs, Black Knight, super obscure Avenger. What do you know about him?
I remember him from back in the 80s. He was always there. I remember him from the Marvel Handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. He's got like a magical sword.
Yeah, he rides a
horse, and he's got a Black Knight outfit.
Like a Pegasus he rides.
Oh, yeah, he rides a Pegasus. So, first appearance, Black Knight #1, May 1955. Created by Stan Lee and Joe Manili. But this first Black Knight was actually like a knight of the Round Table. Like, it was medieval times. It was actually back then. Kit is playing Dane Whitman, who is the third person to be the Black Knight. His first appearance, The Avengers #47 in 1967, created by Roy Thomas. John Buscema, also in the books, he has a romance with Cersei of the Eternals.
Right.
And we know who's playing Cersei now. Gemma Chan.
That's a great pick.
Playing Cersei in the Eternals, the first person to be recast in the MCU. She played Minerva in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's okay.
She was under makeup, and I think she died.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. She's a good pick. She's been in Crazy Rich Asians. She's been in the show Humans.
Yep.
So and I noticed her there, and I thought that, hey, she should be in movies.
And
so
Barry Keoghan is Druig, and all of them except for what's his name, Kit Harington, took the stage with Kumail Nanjiani and Selma Hayek and Angelina Jolie and Richard Madden, and they had concept art of their costumes. Ruggs, I have a feeling you're not a fan of this concept art.
I don't like the costumes. Do you like them?
They're kind of. I feel like this is like a one.
Like if you really like them, tell me.
I feel like this is like a beginning version of the costumes, and they may get crazier. They appear to be kind of similar, in royalty and just different shades of colors. I don't know. It's fun.
I mean, I get what they're doing, but it's kind of like, it just feels like more of the same. Like,
everyone's color coded a little bit, but it matches their characters in the comic books, the colors to a degree.
Like, for example, like normal people wear high contrasting colors all the time.
Right. These are not.
These are very low contrasting colors.
It can get muddy.
And it gets muddy. Yeah. It's like you don't get a pop of design. Like, that's why I love Spider-Man's costume so much, because it just, it just pops. It just has those nice breakaway lines. And I know that they're not in costumes. This is what they hang out in wherever they're from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Eternals. No, dude, Spider-Man's costume, even when I was a kid, I was just drawn to those eyes and the red and the webs, and I didn't know what it was. But
I just think that the comics are way more flamboyant than this. And so, I mean, so Spider-Man can keep his flamboyancy and all that stuff because it works.
Right.
With who he is. But I think they're trying to make it like they're not like he's a superhero. He's wearing a suit doing stuff. These guys are just existing in their own kind of world, and this is how they dress there. So they're not wearing like costumes on purpose, but I feel like it just should be the craziness of the comic book designs should be just reflected a little bit more and have a little bit more.
It may evolve. You're right, though. They do feel like
it doesn't have to look like the comic books. I just say like this just looks so like, it's not
a
really
little more pop, maybe a little more color, a little more contrast. No,
I mean, like you got like guys who have like really cool designs and color breaks, and they're not in this stuff.
For example, like Brian Tyree Henry's costume in the comics. It's purple with the accents on the border, and the concept art is all like purple and dark, and there's none of that yellow, there's none of that contrast. But the sprite, the little girl sprite one looks like the little, what's that kid's name? What's that character? That's Sprite, right? Like the little annoying thing.
Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's 7-Up, Sprite.
Sprite, 50-50. It's all good.
Yeah.
Remember 50-50? Juicy. All right, look, we got a little bit more Marvel news from D23. Let's take a quick break here. Got to play some promos, promote some other shows, share the love. We'll be right back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get you back to your podcasty goodness now in a minute.
First, we'd like to take a second to tell you about our marginally better podcast, the 365 Flicks podcast.
I am the Scottish weeding whore, Chris.
And I am the Pissy X video store clerk, Kev.
And we bring you the latest movie and TV news, reviews, and rants.
All that and a bunch of top fives that you really will not care about.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Libsyn, and all other third-party podcasting apps.
And on top of all that, you'll get free access to our indie talk. You'll hear us speaking with directors, producers, actors, comic book creators, and artists about their experiences.
Don't forget to drop us 5 stars and follow us on the Facebooks and the Twitters.
Told him not to go in the water.
Hi, I'm Jen.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Henno. We're 3 friends that talk about mental health, wellness, and our lives.
Through articles and tips, we share what has worked for us on our paths overcoming depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, alcoholism, and addiction.
Come join us on our journey. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just search for The Crazy Life. Remember, wiggle your toes and just keep breathing.
I don't care how you're doing. What's up, or how's it hanging?
Jock and Nerd. Listener, if you enjoy the show and want more show, you want bonus content, join our fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon, where you can support the show monetarily and get access to a whole nother podcast feed that has all the shows out there early and tons of bonus content, post shows, movie reviews, whole bonus episodes. And in terms of value, listener, if you guys are, if you are giving $1, maybe I suggest thinking about increasing that a little, because the last few months with the Anthony spin-off show, Ruggs, you realize we've been doing 8 to 9 episodes for free every month. Talking Nerd. It's
a lot of content.
Lots of hours of content. If you get value out of that, just show us what kind of value. Sign up for the Patreon and you get fun stuff like Anthony's not here, but you could hear his thoughts on the D23 announcements right now on the Patreon, just for our fan club members, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Continuing on at the Marvel presentation at D23, they got a good look, new footage of Black Widow. There's a poster. Apparently, she's got a white Widow suit.
Right.
This poster is kind of sick because, first of all, her costume starting to have like the gold, long cylindrical bullet things that she has in the comics, around her wrist. I love that. You see Elena Pugh on one side, you see Taskmaster in the background, and you see David Harbour as the Guardian in profile, which Geek Boner. That's cool. He's like Russia's Captain America.
He's got the beard.
And he's got a big beard. I will crush you with my red guardian hands. And there's a lot of other people. The action and the stuff, the descriptions coming out from this look cool. What do you think, Ruggs? Are you getting excited for the Black Widow?
Oh, I'm excited to see what Taskmaster's all about. Of course, Scarlett Johansson's fine. She does, her job, and she'll be fine.
She does it well.
Yeah, she's been great in all the movies and however they've done her. I think my favorite one is probably Civil War.
I was going to say she was really good in Civil War. That's the one. Where's the one where she's tied to the chair while she's on the phone and still kill?
Oh, that's Avengers #2.
That's Avengers Ultron. There's a couple of good bits in there, but her.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. They're all kind of blurry.
I know her and Steve opening Civil War. Always good. She's great in that movie.
Oh, she was also great in fucking Winter Soldier with the action.
Oh, yeah. That was Winter Soldier. That's what I'm talking about. Civil War and Winter Soldier. But it's about time she got
Which
her
is
own
the
movies.
one which is the one with where she's running through the market and she's kicking everybody's ass.
Oh,
like that stunt work was pretty good.
That was
in a lot of shaky cam there, but like
in Africa, right? That was Civil War.
Yeah.
That was Civil War. That's very good. So to see her full out fight people just like her and Taskmaster mimicking, it's a lot like there was more gameplay footage from that Avengers game, and there's a whole scene where she fights you as her fight Taskmaster in the game. It's pretty cool.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
they're telegraphing
a little bit, but I'm excited to see David Harbour. That's coming out May 2020. The next announcement is pretty crazy. The Falcon and Winter Soldier show. They will face U.S. Agent
Oh, shit.
A long time.
Evil
Captain America, who's super patriot. Long time character from the Captain America comic books. He is being played by Wyatt Russell, who, if you watch Black Mirror, you've seen the playtest episode, Ruggs?
Yes.
The one where he goes to be the video game tester, and you're never sure if he's still in the video game. It's like,
right.
You know, it's Inception video game. That dude is playing U.S. agent, which confirms the plot that the government really doesn't want Sam Wilson to be the next Captain America. What do you know about U.S. agent, Ruggs? What else can he tell us?
Oh, man. I off the top of my head,
yeah.
I just remember him being, at one point considered to be Captain America.
Yes.
Like they had him be actual Captain America. He like cleaned up his act or something.
Well, he started as a super patriot, and it's another, similar to Red Guardian, it's another version of like this Captain America idea. So U.S. agent, once Cap kind of lost trust in the government and turned his back to the U.S. government, they got U.S. agent because he was all gung-ho loyal to the government, could do whatever he wanted, and actually became Captain America. So I love that they've made another super soldier to go and take down Sam so that he can't be, or to steal the Captain America shield and the mantle from him. I don't know. If you check Wyatt Russell's IMDb, I learned another little Easter egg. U.S. agent will also be in WandaVision.
Oh, shit.
He's in both series. So Falcon's coming out first, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then WandaVision comes out later.
So
this character, it's going to cross over.
Show crossovers.
Yes, show crossovers. Not only that, Sharon Carter is returning in Falcon and Winter Soldier as Agent 13.
Cool.
That'll be cool.
Wonder where she was the whole time.
Do you think Cap ever told Peggy that, like, so Peggy, I know I'm back after 45 years. I tried and traveled. We can live together. I got something to confess. I may in the future have made out with your niece. I'm sorry. I know it's weird.
Yeah, they just dumped her. They froze her up. Really,
but I
really
kissed her.
Sharon Carter.
Yes.
They fucking used her as a plot device, and that was it.
How awkward. That's an awkward conversation, Steve.
Because that's what happens when the fans start dictating what.
Yes.
Like their ship with Peggy was so hardcore.
That they have to do, yeah.
That they just dump Sharon Carter, which is the logical thing, instead of making him go back to the Disney happy ending.
Yeah.
Of having to go back in time and live his whole life with Peggy Carter. It's just weird. It's even weirder when you go back, when he goes back. It's like already weird that he's like into the chick that is kind of related to her. But it's even worse when he goes into the past.
Time travel and first cousins is definitely hard.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hard thing to work around.
I mean, weird things have happened in the comics, but
yes.
I mean, it's just like you got the opportunity not to do that.
Hey, at least we get to see her again, so yeah, I'm happy they're going to use her.
It's fine, yeah, sure.
More cast announcements returning as Darcy and Jimmy Woo, Kat Dennings, Randall Parks will be in WandaVision. We haven't seen Darcy since Thor 2. I love Kat Dennings' Darcy. She was hilarious. And remember Randall Park in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah.
Jimmy Woo. They will both be in WandaVision, and they put out this crazy concept art of, did you see this painting of what's her name? Scarlet Witch and Vision on a couch in like a 50s environment watching the TV. And I love the shadow that's being thrown on the back of the wall. You see her Scarlet Witch headdress in the shadow, and then in the Vision shadow, you see the jewel in his head. This is really weird because this looks like a 50s. I'm like, what are they doing? So Paul Bettany actually had something to say about what the show is going to be. He says it happens to be a mashup between a couple of our favorite comics that will remain nameless, but also a mashup, and this is all from Kevin Feige's fevered imagination, a mashup of American sitcoms throughout the eras.
Oh, shit.
And it tumbles into kind of a chaotic, messed up story. Then it ends up in a more familiar Marvel narrative. Ruggs, what do you think is going on here?
I don't know. I'm like, they're going to bend reality? I don't understand what's going on here.
Vision is, for all intents and purposes,
could it be a program
dead.
Or something? I don't know.
This is what I think it is. They said that she's going to become Wanda was going to become Scarlet Witch in this, right? I think she is putting up this illusion to cope with not having the Vision And in the illusions, they're just going through different TV shows. It's the only thing she knows from watching TV. So it's not reality. But the comics that he talked about, there's that great Tom King Vision series where he moves to the suburbs and he makes a whole family. He has an android wife and dog and 2 kids, and they just try to live a normal life. This is going to lead into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So it could be what you said, Ruggs. Remember, you're like, it's a reverse House of M. Maybe that's still a thing.
Right. It could be that. That's crazy. I just feel like it either is the Vision, they're trying to get the Vision back online.
Yeah.
And they're using this like
maybe he's there in his head.
Yeah, in like they're trying to he's trying to reconstruct a reality with her in there walking around.
It's like there's a thing called the framework on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where you go, it's like a Matrix. It's like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Or she could be creating this illusion. I hope we get to see more of her powers.
But I think it makes more sense that the Division, you don't know if he's ever coming back to corporeal reality.
Yes, exactly.
Because why would she be casting a Vision or casting or warping reality around like a dead body, basically?
Well, and like you
have to be alive.
It's kind of surprising that there was there's no mention of him in Endgame. They didn't even like address any of that, did they?
Right.
You know, he's just gone, out of commission, dead. Who knows?
I would think that the illogical thing, since Vision is a artificial, human being,
yes,
that they're trying to fix him.
Oh,
they even said it in Infinity War that even without the stone, he's still something.
Yeah, he's still parts of all these things, and maybe her magic is the key. Maybe she magically. So that show's going to be crazy. All these shows are going to be crazy. They also revealed some art for the What If series at Peggy Carter animated as Captain America, although she's Captain Britain because she's British. So yeah, if she took the serum, it wouldn't have been a Captain America, would it? Should have been like, no.
Why would they give her the serum though? She's British and she's not loyal.
I don't know. Look, in this still, she's got a Union Jack inside the middle of the shield and on her.
Hopefully they have a good explanation for this. But I mean, it's a what if? Does it matter?
It's a what if. And my other question was, what is this going to look like? Many people comparing this animation to Star Wars Resistance show that's going to be out. And from this still, it looks sick. Like if it looks like this, I think it's going to be awesome. What do you think of how it looks so far?
I need to see it in motion, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the still's pretty good. And then the other rumor I heard is they're going to do one episode of each 23 MCU movies, twisting it up. And that's going to be like the whole run of the show.
Really?
Which is crazy. Meaning...
So they're going to take every movie and what if it?
And what if it? Meaning there's 2 Spider-Man movies in there.
Oh, shit.
Spider-Man may not be completely out. The whole rights thing is for television and film rights, not animation rights. I think Marvel still owns the Spider-Man animation rights.
They make Marvel cartoons on Disney all the time. They make
all the... You know what? You're going to hate this, Ruggs. They are bringing back Spider-Man and his amazing friends, but you're going to just throw up in your mouth when I say that. It is a show for preschoolers.
Oh, shit.
They're making a preschool version of Spider-Man for preschoolers.
That's fine.
Yeah, because it's for kids. I mean, it's for real little kids.
It's like there's a that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do that, it's fine. No one's looking at that and
saying this isn't my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like Muppet Babies version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, we
or something.
know that that's clearly so different than what it should be that it's its own thing.
I just think that's man, and this is the Disney genius is they make something for every age group. So they get you from when you're a baby, and they don't let you go.
Indoctrination,
yes,
folks.
They don't let you go. Even when you're an adult now, and then you have kids, you are in it even deeper.
The cycle continues.
Holy shit, it's genius. It's evil fucking genius, Disney. So excited for the what if. And then last thing, Kate Heron will be director of the Loki series. I'm not familiar with her work, but at least there's a director. Let's move on to the Star Wars news, because there was a lot of Star Wars news also. Ruggs, did you see this special look? It wasn't a trailer, Rise of Skywalker special look, but it might as well have been a trailer.
I didn't see a special look.
You saw the trailer. It's got extra.
I saw something that was like
it's
a
got
montage with footage from both things.
So this is the one that...
Is that it?
Yes.
It's like 2 minutes long.
Yes, half of it is clips from the first 7 or 8 movies. And I got to say, some of that stuff was giving me tingles, kind of to walk down memory lane.
Yeah, you remember how great those were.
Yes, you're like, oh, shit. Like, oh, shit. Remember this? Remember Darth Maul? Remember all this shit? And then it cuts to the new footage. And there's some great shots in here. What did you think of the new stuff, Ruggs? Does it give you any more Geek Boner excitement, any hope? Does it change anything for you?
Not really. I mean, look, I know that Ryan Johnson's whatever he did is going to be undone.
All undone. J.J. Abrams will put the plates back on the shelf.
J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
So that I don't know how much it's going to dial it back from what they did, but they're going to do something. All right, I think. It might end up being a complete disaster, but I mean, that would kill the franchise.
Like Game of Thrones, they need to stick this landing. I want a satisfying conclusion to this 9-movie
really
fucking epic saga.
There is room for a great movie to happen, and there is enough wiggle room where you can kind of salvage, the feeling about Star Wars. Like, I think a lot of people are like pissed off.
Yeah.
And kind of like disenfranchised. And if this goes wrong, then you're done.
So here's a couple of things I like. The one shot of the core group of heroes together, finally. Poe Dameron and Rey and Finn and Chewie and 3PO. These are your main characters, and they didn't fucking meet until the end of the second movie, right?
Oh, shit.
You're like, what are you doing? They just met. Like, move this shit along. So finally, they're all hanging out. They're probably in the Millennium Falcon. They're on this planet where there's like a festival going on. And then a shot of Carrie Fisher as General Leia. Reused footage of the late Carrie Fisher. Put it into this movie. Looks amazing. Like, you can't tell this is from another movie. And then the shot of all the ships showing up. You see a lot of old school ships in this. There's fucking Y-Wings and B-Wings and X-Wings and ships from the original trilogy. Same with the other side when all the stormtroopers, what is those things called? The big Imperial starships show up.
Right.
That's cool. 3PO with red eyes. What does that mean? Is he evil? You think he turns evil?
He just smoked a blunt.
Oh, he's stoned. That's it.
Shit.
3PO is like,
my balls was hot.
He just smoked a fat
he had the chronic
blunt. In the comics, in the Darth Vader comics, there's an evil 3PO called 000, and he's hilarious. He has red eyes. And he's constantly talking about how he's going to kill everyone in a snarky way.
I hope that's him then.
So I don't know if they're going to do a flip on this. What else is cool? Oh, the shot of Rey and what's his face? Emo boy. What's his name? I forgot. Kylo fighting on the part of the submerged Death Star with the water. Tell me that's not epic. That looks fucking epic.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like it. I mean, all the movies have great trailers.
The trailers are always good. I'll give you that much. And then they give you the fake out. Is Rey turning to the dark side? We see her with a hood like Darth Maul, with purple shit on her face like Palpatine. Right. She's got this sick double red saber that's parallel and then snaps down.
Why would they give that away in the trailer?
No, clearly
it's got to be
dude, how many of these movies have visions? How many times have Luke had visions? She had visions. There's always visions. They would not give that away. This is a vision. It's a misdirect.
If that's a good giveaway. Now,
there's no way that's like a real thing.
It could be a vision. Some people say it's like it's a robot, or it
clone?
Could be
is she
a clone that was cloned from like Luke Skywalker's hand. I don't know. It's really, really ridiculous.
But that's the thing is they wouldn't give away a big moment like that in this trailer. Like there's a reason. That's not what it appears to be. But that fucking lightsaber is sick though.
I think this is a part of a masturbation fantasy.
Yes. What?
By
By
what's
who?
his name? By Kylo Ren.
Oh, this is one of Kylo Ren's. It's like, Ray, what are you doing here?
Lady with 2 lightsabers.
Ray, I wish you'd tell me before you dropped in. I was jerking off.
When I saw those 2 lightsabers, it just made me think of those like double stick ice pops that used to crack open.
You have to break apart, and you could never break them clean. Like one part would always break off too much.
Yeah.
That's those ice pops. Apparently, in Star Wars Rebels, there's a dude who has a lightsaber like this already exists.
Yeah.
In canon.
Yeah. See, not even original.
It's part of the saga.
Took some old shit, dusted it off.
So I don't know. I'm a
There you
little
go.
more. This is the big ending of the year coming out in December. It's gonna be.
Look, I'm there.
Yes.
Am I buying tickets for this? Of fucking course. Am I gonna reserve my right to bitch about it if I don't like it? Probably. Do I really care that much in the grand scheme of things if it sucks? No. I mean,
It's not like
whatever.
it's gonna be the end of Star Wars. We know that.
When you already get gut punched.
Yeah.
Another gut punch is really not gonna. You're already sore.
Well, that's I think the one thing that it's got going for me is that my bar is going to be so low after watching Solo and Last Jedi. I've got low expectations, so I'll probably enjoy it. I just don't want them to completely redo fucking Return of the Jedi. It's just another Return of the Jedi. Is that Endor? Is there going to be Ewoks? Is that where the Death Star crashed? I don't know. The Emperor is definitely back. What do you think about that? We hear him.
I kind of hate that, but whatever.
We also
he's dead.
Well, maybe his spirit. So the people's theories are his spirit is somewhere, and then it'll finally manifest itself. Ian McDermott's still playing him, but you also hear Darth Vader's breathing for a second in the part of the new stuff.
Could be Kylo Ren.
Oh, it could be trying to be.
Masturbate.
Man, he's bad. Yes.
Oh, shit.
He's got the helmet on.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
That's all Kylo wants is somebody to touch his
my God.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Kylo's like,
I'm sorry, Imran. I'm in a weird mood today.
That's fine. I'm just going to roll with it. Other Star Wars announcements, Rugs. Clone Wars Season 7 coming out in February.
Cool.
On Disney Plus. I know you follow that. And
I do like that show.
It kind of just ended abruptly, right? And they didn't finish up a lot of things. Here's some huge fucking news. Ewan McGregor is returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi on a Disney Plus show.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Really?
Yes.
He's for a show? I thought it was for a movie.
The rumors were for a movie for a long time. People were excited. It was going to be if Solo went well, it was going to be the in-between spin-off movies. There was supposed to be a Boba Fett movie, but now it looks like the Boba Fett movie is the Mandalorian, and the Ewan and the Obi-Wan movie is now this show, which is amazing. So a couple of details on when this show takes place. It will be 8 years after The Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, and 11 years before Star Wars New Hope. So Luke is 8 years old, and Obi-Wan is probably in the desert, kind of keeping an eye on him, doing his own shit, being a badass. But then in 11 years, he's going to turn into Alec Guinness.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that time frame? I think there's good stories you can tell there.
The story is going to be about a old man stalking a child.
Yes, it's going to be about an old man trying to get into the.
Sign me up for that one.
Boy.
Shit.
Ugh. Also, this is about the time when the Solo movie happens. All this stuff is happening in this time. But man, people were super excited. I didn't know people were going to be that excited to see Ewan McGregor. I thought he was a great Obi-Wan. He's a great actor.
It sucks to waste him for a TV show.
Well,
whatever.
This is not just any TV show, as we will see in a second. The Rogue One spin-off series with Cassian Andor and Alan Tudyk starts shooting next year. Now, my favorite thing they put out, even more than the Rise of the Skywalker trailer, The Mandalorian, the first show by Jon Favreau, the first live-action Star Wars show, launches with the service in November 12th. Put out a trailer, Rugs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you check out this trailer?
I've seen it, yeah.
Listen, this is why I'm saying this doesn't suck. This looks like it should be a movie. This is Game of Thrones level quality for a TV show. It looks amazing. Apparently, I heard $15 million an episode they are spending. That's Game of Thrones budget. So if you give Ewan McGregor the same thing, it's going to be sick. But wow, I was kind of blown away at how fucking cool and Western-y this looks. I love the Western nods, the gunslinger nods.
That one establishing shot that they have of him going into that, whatever the fuck he's going into.
Yes, where it's the city where you see a little.
It just looks epic.
Dude, that looks amazing. This looks like this movie quality is going to be on a TV.
Yeah. So I want to see what happens there. I want to see what an action scene looks like. I mean, you do a little bit. You see he takes out a little gunfight.
Dude, that fight in the bar is great because he slams that guy's head down and then he grabs that guy with his rope, pulls him in as he blasts the door that closes and cuts his head off.
Oh shit.
That's fucking sick right there.
Yeah.
And then you see frozen carbonite.
That's right.
Remember Return of the Jedi and Empire? Like, that was an experiment Jabba had. He didn't know if it would work. It worked with Han. So this show takes place 3 years after Return of the Jedi, after the Empire has fallen, but before the Force Awakens First Order. So everything's kind of a shit show. And Werner Herzog has a great line saying, bounty hunting is a complicated profession, isn't it? Also, joining the cast, Ming-Na Wen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dude, check out this cast, okay? It's fucking cast. Pedro Pascal playing the Mandalorian. You have Bill Burr is on the show.
Oh, shit.
Yes. In fact, the one shot, the bald guy you see his back of, that might be Bill Burr. Gina Carano. Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad and tons of other things. Werner Herzog, Nick Nolte, Taika Waititi is the voice of the droid you see in the trailer, IG-11.
Whoa.
You see Carl Weathers looking dope as Grief Karga and Ming-Na Wen. Just added the series directed by Rick Famuyiwa, Dave Filoni from Star Wars Rebels, Bryce Dallas Howard doing an episode, Taika Waititi doing an episode, Jon Favreau and George Lucas writing on the 8 episodes.
Whoa.
This is an amazing creative backing. Ludwig Göransson, the guy who did the music for Black Panther, doing the music. The more I read about this crew, this is going to be fucking amazing. And the fact that you get to see it right away when Disney Plus launches is such an amazing plus.
Did you sign up for Disney Plus yet, Imran?
Oh, here we go. Here's the next update. So, at D23, they put out this offer to everyone that was there that had a D23 account on the website. They were like, if you sign up for 3 years for Disney Plus, it will cost less than $4 a month.
Oh, shit.
Listener, when this show posts, you have 1 day to actually still grab this offer. It's good till September 2nd. All you have to do is go to d23.com and create a free account. And then like a day later you go, this is what happened to me. First, I went there, the site crashed. I was like, oh, fuck. I went there the next day. It worked. I got an account. There was nothing there. I go back the next day to my account and it says redeem offer. So yes, Rug Boy, we have paid, it was $140 for 3 years of Disney Plus. That's less than $4 a month.
Oh, shit.
You cannot beat this deal.
But you got to get it now.
But you got to get it now before September 2nd. And another huge thank you to, I'm embarrassed because I forgot the name of the listener that sent us the generous donation of $100 for the first year of Disney Plus. All you guys, Patreon members, you guys help pay for this. We're going to be reviewing the show, all these shows. I'm psyched to have signed up at that fucking rate. Like $4 a month is fucking amazing. So in terms of when the Disney Plus launches and where, it's going to launch in the United States November 12th.
Oh, shit.
And be available in Canada and the Netherlands on the same day. The following week, November 19th, Wes Cranford, Yank from Down Under, it will launch in Australia, where he lives, and New Zealand 1 week later, November 19th. No UK date yet, which is odd.
Interesting.
I hope they work that out. The problem with that is they have a lot of stuff internationally that they put on Netflix, a lot of Disney stuff, but not in America. So there's a little bit of a conflict. As far as what devices will support it, here's the list. You will be able to download Disney Plus on Apple TV, tvOS, Android mobile devices, Android TV, Chromecast, web browsers, of course, iPad, iPhone, PlayStation 4, Roku TV, and Xbox One. Missing from this list is any Amazon Fire TV device.
Whoa.
So I don't know if that's going to come later. But right now, I can catch it on my PlayStation 4. I have Apple TV. No problem. Disney expecting to get 60 to 90 million subscribers by 2025. Do you think they can hit that number, Ruggs?
Possibly. I mean, 60 is definitely achievable.
In the next, 5 years.
Yes. I think 100 million, I don't know. 90 million global. I don't know. They might blow right past it.
They might.
I mean, but it depends.
Dude, everyone who has kids is getting this. This is a great deal. Leading the subscriber competition is Netflix at over, I think it's 158 million subscribers they have right now. So
Yeah.
that's the goal.
I think
to
at
catch
least
up to them.
half of what Netflix has.
They can get in that 5 years. Here's another interesting thing I learned, Ruggs. All the shows are going to come out one episode per week.
Oh shit.
Like the DC
Universe,
app.
like Hulu,
Yeah.
they're not dropping them all at once. Now, I know people like to binge things, but I like the weekly release because the conversation, the buzz lasts longer. I think it's better for a show. What do you think, Ruggs?
I think they should release him. What they're doing once a week?
Once a week, so 8 to 10 episodes, 6 to 10 episode series is once a week.
So the buzz would be 2 months if you want to binge it.
Well, the buzz would be like Game of Thrones. You are watching this event unfold every week for 6 weeks. People are talking about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can binge it after like 2 months.
Yeah,
It's 8
after 6
episodes.
weeks, then you could just watch it.
It's not that bad.
No. I mean, I think of like, remember...
And if I had to wait a year to binge watch it, then I'd be like, fuck this.
And they have enough shows. I wonder if they're going to do the DC Universe thing where they do one show at a time. I would love to see like a whole week of programming, like on Monday they release this, Tuesday release this.
They need to have stuff every day, just like you said.
Something new, not just like every Friday. This one series will drop for the first 6 weeks and then the next series.
Because what are you going to do with your subscription? You're not going to
You're going to watch
dick
all
around.
the-
You want to watch a new show.
You can
every
watch
week.
over 600 episodes of The Simpsons. You could do a lot. There's a lot on there. Also,
yeah, but I mean, like you got to offer something brand new.
Yes.
For every day.
Plus the binging thing. Think about like, remember Stranger Things was so big and people were talking about it for like 2 weeks and then that's it. Not like, nobody's talking about it anymore. It's over. It's done. And remember Game of Thrones? We had a fun 6-week conversation with the pop culture fans of what was going on. That was a lot of fun and crazy.
Right.
So I'm okay with the weekly release. I know it's going to piss off some people.
If it's what you said, like a show every day, that's great. I think that asking for 7 new shows on a new platform is not a lot. In fact, there should be 14 new shows or 20 new shows.
Yeah, bring it.
And they should all be starting very, within a few bits of each other. As one fades away, there should be another one popping right up.
Yeah, they should kind of piggyback them.
It makes sense. You make 20 shows a year, that's not that much. I mean, Netflix probably makes like 50 times those.
These are high production shows with big name stars who are probably doing movies also, and they got to schedule their shit. So you're dealing with a really small amount of episodes, lots of money going to these episodes, and A-list stars, man. I can't wait. November 12th. Ruggs, out of all this, what got you the most excited out of the D23? If you had to pick one thing.
I don't know. I think the thing that was the announcement of the 3 shows for Marvel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That are superhero shows that are new.
Yeah.
We're going to see, we already know what Falcon is about,
Right.
and
new
Winter
characters
Soldier.
introduced.
Yeah, I want to see new stuff, and this is like kind of interesting. Like this whole process of who's going to get cast, how are they going to do it, how are they going to solve this problem? It's interesting.
Plus, Anthony made a good point on his Patreon thing. This is a great way to bypass the origin movie that can always be a chore. You don't have to set these people up. This will be their origin, and you could just throw them in. You can see them setting up the next Avengers with these characters. You can see them setting up the young Avengers a little bit with all the new characters coming in. If you list everyone, we're getting like 15 to 20 new characters in the next few years in the MCU alone.
Shit.
That's crazy. Are they going to run out of fucking... When are they going to run out? Are they going to run out of things? We haven't even touched the Fantastic Four or the X-Men, and we're getting all this shit.
Well, that's the thing about comics that people don't really understand or appreciate is that there's been people creating these stories for years and years and years, and their characters are in the thousands.
There's still more.
There's some of them might overlap, some of them may be repeats of each other and copies of each other. So originality might, kind of thin the herd a little bit, but there is a lot. There's a lot of mining that you can do with this Marvel property that you have. It's really like limitless.
There is still more from new characters to really old characters. We're seeing them pull. I mean, they're fucking Black Knight.
Like, how many good comics have there been? There's been a lot. Of pretty, really good runs on comics that you can do. Characters that nobody's ever heard of. All of these things that that we haven't even touched in the movies, because the movies kind of like go their own way a lot of times. We're lucky in the Marvel universe that there's not as much burning of material,
right? Like
as they do in DC,
right? Like DC Warner Brothers has tend to do.
Like they blew that whole Dark. I can't believe that that Dark Knight thing that they.
Whereas
they
what Marvel does is they'll just take the name and they'll do their own version, and they don't burn anything, and the good stuff is still out there.
They don't stick to it enough to burn. Like they did Ragnarok,
yeah.
But it's not like any other Ragnarok.
Well, Age of Ultron, the comics book, is completely different than the movie.
Yeah.
Same thing. Civil War, the main concept is there.
That's the only thing.
That's it. Everything else is kind of different.
I think the teams were different too.
Yeah, and then Civil War 2, like the teams flipped and Captain Marvel was in there, and
so yeah, basically if you've seen, just like the people on Twitter don't know shit. Yeah. You've seen the movies and done anything else, then you don't really. There's so much more there that you don't know about.
Why did I make Hulk a girl now?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that they've tried everything.
They have,
whether it's integral to the character or part of like the fabric of what people should know about the character.
I'm really excited for like this diversity, because look, you got Pakistani Americans are getting excited. People from Jersey are getting excited. You got Chinese Americans for Shang-Chi getting excited. Hispanic Americans, Latino Americans. You got Salma Hayek. So much diversity now. We've gone through all the white guys named Chris, and now we're getting all the others. Kumail Nanjiani is in a Marvel movie. Like, I never thought I would see the day.
Oh shit,
that would happen. It's amazing. Like, I'm really excited for what they got coming. And let's see what happens. It's all good stuff for me so far.
I'm excited. I mean, these things that they're proposing are getting more interesting. Like, I don't know what's going to happen like a year down the line, like what they're going to announce, that could be even cooler.
Yeah.
But there's a lot there.
Well, and think about, the Spider-Man situation 5 years from now, he could easily just be back in the MCU. Like, I think he will come back. I think Marvel will let Sony make their movies, hoping that they realize that we should kind of renegotiate this. And
well, I told you what they should do.
Yeah.
And just make an offer to buy Spider-Man back.
But
give them a bunch of money.
Why would Sony sell their most valuable asset they have? This is the biggest thing there.
Because it's the long game. It's like, okay, so they have to create movies every 5 years.
Right.
They have this stench of what happened with the MCU now on them. And they might release a movie and it not do well. That's a big possibility. So why don't you just get $10 billion, right, for the character? That's more money than you will ever have made. You have to put up no money. You pocket that money, and that's what you probably would have gotten if you made all those
If
other movies.
I was Sony and they were like, we'll give you $10 billion, I'd be like, you know what? Okay, and we're shutting this down. We're done making movies. We've hit our peak. We got $10 billion. We don't have anything else. Right. We're just going to make TVs and PlayStations. It's fine.
Like, if Disney wants to pay, basically Disney would have to come up with a number so big that it would make Sony like, oh, that's all the money that we're going to make with Spider-Man anyway. Even if we made 20 movies, we wouldn't make that.
I mean, 70 billion? Is it worth 70 billion like Fox is?
10. I think 10.
10 billion for 900 characters back.
If you make them, for example, let's just extrapolate this. $10 billion. Let's say they make $1 billion from each movie, which is impossible.
Yeah.
All right. They're not going to even take home that money.
Right.
They're going to, a lot of that money, if they get half of that money.
Yep,
so they're really going to make $5 billion in 10 years.
Yeah. I'd have to
if they had a movie every year, but they're not. They're making it every other year, every 3 years. So let's say you're talking about securing their financial thing for this company, for that character be bought and paid for like 20 years. Why wouldn't they take the money?
I kind of want Sony to keep holding out, though. And part of me, because I want them to challenge Marvel and be like, look, you don't have everything.
Yeah.
And I think a great fuck you to Disney is if Sony just put Tom Holland in an R-rated Spider-Man movie.
Oh, shit.
How amazing would that be? Just do Kraven the Hunter.
Like the real way it's supposed to be.
Yes. Kraven the Hunter, dark, R-rated.
Or the Sin Eater.
Or, Death of Gene DeWolf, Sin Eater. Do some dark ass movie, make it R-rated. Be like, fuck you, Disney. We just fucked up your character.
That's a great part of Spider-Man that no one's getting.
That is the best Spider-Man story anyone's ever going to read. Kraven the Hunter, still to this day, I don't think anybody's written anything better. Right. And it's so dark. It's so good. I hope they don't fuck that up when they get to that point, because that is something I'd love to see. But on the other hand, look, if you have guys like Lord and Miller and some of these writers helming the ship at Sony for Spider-Man, it could be all right. It could be all right. I don't know.
I mean, if it's like Into the Spider-Verse, people will like it. I won't like it that much. I mean, I like Into the Spider-Verse, but I mean, it's not really, I don't know if these guys are going to be able to deliver what kind of even what close to what Sam Raimi even did.
Right.
As far as, getting close to the comic books, but I don't know. It's like Sony has a better chance of being more true to the comics than MCU. The MCU has been painted Peter is a Johnny come lately into the story.
He's ensemble side.
They had to shoehorn him into a certain role that he's not really supposed to be. And
but I think think Feige was smart. If you think about again where Far From Home ended, like we said in the beginning, like he kind of knew like this is the break point. Like we don't know what's going to happen after this, so I kind of need to leave this character in a way where if he comes back, great. If he doesn't, it can also work.
For Spider-Man to succeed, the link with Tony Stark, even in the MCU,
had to be,
die.
And it did.
So,
it, for all intents and purposes, did.
No, it doesn't, because he's still got the tech. He's still got Happy Hogan delivering him brand new suits.
So Aunt May has to break up with Happy. Happy's out. He's never going to see him again. So then you take over like Zendaya and Ned and Jacob Batalon.
So do you think that he's going to go back into the world, reject all of Tony Stark's tech?
Or it's taken away from him. But the thing is, they can't even reference any of that shit to explain it even.
Oh, shit.
In the Sony movie.
You don't. What you do is that he runs away to San Francisco without the suit or anything.
Yeah.
He's not Spider-Man. He's just hiding. And then Venom comes into play.
Man, if he had stayed in the MCU, I think it would have been a great play to have Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, be his lawyer through this and help him clear Peter Parker's name. That could have been fun, but it's not happening. Well, look, we don't know. Disney has not made anything official. Negotiations could just be paused. They could still be happening.
Oh, yeah.
There's no official
a deal
word.
Might come in, if someone gets smart over at Disney, so let me just give them some money and we'll get them back.
This is not final by any means. And, we've had so much Spider-Man movies. We weren't going to see him for another 5 years anyways, tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think if they come in and give him an offer, they should take it. For Disney has to give them money. Disney's trying to get money from them.
Yes.
This is weird.
Well, but Disney was offering to also co-finance the movie. They were going to pay for half of it, and they wanted 25%. There was that crazy rumor right afterwards. Remember, Ruggs, from Cosmic Book News?
Yeah, that was not true.
Dude, that was a nuts rumor, and none of that happened. I thought, our show was going to be outdated before it even posts. Nothing at D23. Still up in the air. Spidey still not in the MCU. Let's move on real quick. I want to give you guys a quick recap of Wizard World 2019 was just in Chicago, and the folks over there, Jerry Milani and PR, nice enough to credential us for a second year in a row.
Nerd.
Yes, thank you very much. I had kind of a busy week. My sister was in town. I had a few hours on the Saturday, so I went on the Saturday. I forgot how big this show was because the last show we saw was Comic-Con Revolution in the same venue, and it was not as big. This one was huge. It was really good. A lot of good vibes. A lot of vendors. Jeff Goldblum was there. Henry Winkler was there. They have the usual cosplayers, but they weren't that annoying. And they had a cosplay corner. Rugs. I love this one vendor in the cosplay corner. That dude who just sells weapons and guns and swords that look real. That shit.
Oh, shit.
I always just want to buy one of the guns because they have that gun from Halo. And all this shit looks like it's made out of metal. Very, very realistic, but it's light. It's always fun.
How much does one of those guns go for? Did you look at the prices?
The prices vary. There's cheaper ones, and there's ones that are a couple $100s to tens of dollars. It depends on the quality and the build, but I always just wanted to buy one. I ran into our buddy Juan Gomez, who does the Jock and Nerd Sports Matchup, and I bought prints from him this time. So I have a print of illustration of the red and blue Spider-Man on a Chicago Cubs background.
Oh, neat.
And I have black suit Spider-Man on a White Sox background, all black and white. And then I bought Wolverine in his brown costume on a Chicago Bulls kind of background. And on that one, he added a cute little Easter egg on the shoulder. It's in a circle that says 23, and there's an X behind it, giving it a double meaning. 23, Michael Jordan, and then X23, Daphne Keene playing X23 also. Very nice, good artwork. And then, Ruggs, also ran into Scott Larson, who does the Visitations comics, which is all about like ghosts in Chicago.
Right.
He's been on the show. Across from him, Jerry Conway.
Oh, shit. Geek boner.
If you don't know.
My Secret Identity?
No, that's Jerry O'Connell.
Oh, Jerry Conway.
That's Jerry O'Connell with spray cans, so he can float away.
You're talking about the comic book creator,
legendary comic book writer Jerry Conway, only the co-creator of The Punisher.
Right.
He killed Gwen Stacy.
Oh, shit.
And I got 2 prints signed from him. And briefly, I just had a chance to ask him. I was like, who is your favorite live-action Punisher? And he said Johnny Bernthal had the most intensity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he liked John Bernthal.
I liked him
as the Punisher. We got to spend the most time, but Jerry Conway was really cool. So, I mean, the last convention I talked to Mike Zeck. That was cool. Meeting Jerry Conway. Very cool. Good show. Thank you very much, Wizard World, for giving us credentials. There's video games, lots of things.
Like fun.
It was a fun time. I got one thing in news from the nation, and then we'll wrap it up.
It's time for news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation. Oh, shit, I'm out of toilet paper.
Oh, shit.
Tane Reese wrote in after our last episode where we talked about Matrix 4 coming back with Carrie-Anne Moss, Keanu Reeves. He says, hey, guys, after listening to the podcast, I thought I'd drop a line to course correct you on a few things from your Matrix comments. At the end of the first movie, when Neo is on the phone, he's not talking to the humans and informing them the Matrix isn't real. He's talking to the machines, informing them of his presence.
That's right.
Also, at the end of the trilogy, the Matrix still exists. Neo had won the humans outside the Matrix their freedom, but all the humans inside remained there and had no idea of their plight. Neo fought Smith, who was basically a computer virus, and by beating him, preserved the Matrix. It's also fairly ambiguous whether or not Neo actually dies. Let me break in here, because don't they cart his body away in one point?
Yeah.
Like, he's dead. His body is dead. My assumption, due to the fact that they're looking to cast a young Morpheus, that the 8th version of the Matrix will start with Neo playing the role of the mentor like Morpheus did for him. And the reincarnated, or version 2.0 Morpheus, will be the naive one like Neo was before him. Trinity is likely a program, and Neo spends most of his time in the Matrix. Because of that, the film, if it does well, could start a new trilogy with all kinds of new twists and upgrades on the 8th Matrix. Or as a standalone, perhaps young Morpheus finds a way to defeat the machines and free all the humans, which in the first trilogy never happened. Basically, it just reset everything to the status quo. But what do I know? Signed, Bruce Tane. Thanks, Tane.
Talking nerd.
For writing in. And you're right, they kind of set up Matrix 4 at the end of Matrix Revolutions in a way.
Yeah.
If you kind of think about it.
Yeah. I mean, when we're talking about stuff off the cuff and we're going to make a mistake like that, that's like, we had the right intention.
I'm glad he cleared that up, though, because it
was a little bit foggy.
Yes, it's always hard coming off the cuff. But those details are important. And maybe, but then how do you explain that Carrie-Anne Moss Trinity is dead? So could it be
she died in the real world,
that their consciousness was uploaded somewhere and then they make a clone or another?
I think if you've been in the Matrix, they have a copy.
They have a copy of you. So then,
if you've ever been in the Matrix, you ever have to. Whole consciousness has to be in there. So then they probably could easily copy.
So they copy you and they just make you like 25 years older for some reason. Because why not? Because that's what you look like. They're not going to de-age
maybe I think that maybe Keanu is old and he doesn't want to project himself to be younger. He just wants he
wants to be the Morpheus.
He wants to be his age, his actual age.
Right.
Because, you see yourself in the Matrix like you're like as cool as you want, but outside you're like all dirty and shit, right? So he could make himself younger.
Yeah.
But then they have to spend money.
De-aging. Although that's getting a lot easier, and I don't know if it's cheaper, but everyone's
not doing it. I mean, like, it would be cool if he was young in the Matrix, and then outside of the Matrix, he was old.
I think he should play him the way he looks now. Like, John Wick looks badass. He still looks great. Carrie-Anne Moss she looks fine. She looks good. I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything in a while. She's in, what do they call it? The Jessica Jones. Oh, that's right. Oh, wait. She looks great in that. That's right. I forgot. She's fucking, what's her name? Jerry Hogarth, the storyline you did not care for the third season of Jessica Jones. I liked it at the beginning, but it just kept going. I like the Jerry Hogarth. All right, that's good stuff. That's the show, Ruggs. Where can the listener find you online? You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy. Come by, say hello, troll some people with me. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's what Twitter's for. Frolic in the stupidity with me. Frolic in the Twitter cesspool of life. Yeah. Show notes for this episode at jockandnerd.com/291. We'll have links to everything we talked about, how to subscribe to the show, how to get in touch, how to support the show. If you like the show, listener, share it, post it to your Facebook. Grab the next person you see and give them one of these. Jock and Nerd. Shake them and then run away. And then maybe they'll look up what the fuck you were talking about, or they'll just call the police. Walk up to somebody and say, Jock and Nerd, and then immediately say Embiggen and run away. Embiggen, Jock and Nerd. Give him Embiggen. Walk up to someone, give him one of these. I love this movie. Podcast. Maybe. Share the show, listener. That's all we ask. That's how we grow. Word of mouth is the best way to grow our audience. Thanks for hanging out, listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran. My name is Rugberto. He's the Rug Boy. And he's the nerd. I'll peep you next time. I like that show. Yeah. Jocktastic. I'm pumped. Has the mic rips?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. There you go.
Their bottom is very weak.